Hello everyone, it's another day closer to Christmas and another Marvel What If episode for us to watch. Will this one make me say, what the heck? Or will I be saying, yes, I like it? Welcome back, friends. It's me, Amanda. Hi. You might know me as Vamp, or you might just know me as Amanda. Either way, welcome back in. What if Season 3, Episode 2 is here? What if Agatha went to Hollywood? It sounds so simple, and yet this is a big episode. So I'm going to give you a little spoiler warning at this point. Spoilers are coming, so just prepare yourself for that. Hold on, because they're coming. This episode is basically about, like, Agatha Harkness back during the height of Hollywood, this beautiful, glamorous Hollywood era. She's there, she's working with Howard Stark, and she's making movies. But she's really, what she's really doing is she's using witchcraft to try to take the energy of the celestial that is at the Earth's core. To do that, she's going to need the perfect partner. And that partner is none other than Kingo! Kumail Nanjiani and shenanigans ensue. That's basically what we're dealing with here. And I'm going to tell you why I loved this episode. I really loved it. I knew I was going to love it. I did say the other day when I was filming my other episode, sort of thoughts that this might be the one for me. This might be stronger. I do think it was a stronger episode, but I can see why Marvel maybe didn't want to lead with this one. And I think it has to do with the fact that it's very Eternals based. Now, granted, Kingo is really the only Eternal that we get in this episode that we see, but the other ones are referenced, and of course we have the Celestial that's at the Earth's core, and of course Arishem comes in. So I think the reason why they didn't lead with this one was the fact that it was so Eternals connected, and obviously Eternals didn't do very well at the box office and in terms of reviews, even though I actually really liked the Eternals. And one of the things that I really liked about this episode was I thought this might make people more curious, because I know there are a lot of people that just completely skipped that one because of reviews and just hearing that, you know, it wasn't that good. I think with Eternals, I mean, I don't know if was I making videos at that time? Do we have a video on the channel about that? I don't know if we do. If we don't, let me know if you want one of those. I don't know. Do we? I don't think we do. I don't. Okay. Well, maybe we should do something on Eternals. I just think the Eternals had a challenging goal in terms of what it set out to do, which is to introduce an entire team with a lot of people, a lot of characters in one film. And I think the approach to it could have been better. But I also feel like it was just a daunting task. So, yeah. But there are a lot of good things about Eternals, and I did really like a lot of the characters from it, and so I was glad to see Kingo coming back, who actually was one of my favorites on that team. So yay, Kingo. Also, just Kumail Nanjiani is amazing. He is so fun to watch, and him partnered up with Kathyrn Hahn. You are in for a treat with this episode. Kathyrn Hahn also being the main character in the episode, I think was a strong choice, having Agatha Harkness sort of cementing, because just Kathyrn Hahn is just a delight to watch, listen to. I think that she does a great job, and I feel like this episode is a lot stronger than the previous one just because we have such a strong cast. We also have Dominic Cooper, who's returning to play Howard Stark. He played Howard Stark in the Agent Carter series, which I also really liked. So we've got like a lot of people that I just really love coming together. And ultimately, this episode felt like it made more sense than the first one. That being said, there are still some things that I had questions about, like, how does Agatha know so much? And if she knows so much, it actually made me question just in the main continuity, why none of these characters ever came together. But that's also a problem we have with the Eternals in general. I think also Kingo being willing to give up his power a little bit easily here, I would say, is a little like you kind of got a suspension of disbelief that a bit. However, this episode I think is even shorter than the last episode, and yet it feels like it gives us a better story. It's just the way the story is laid out. I feel like it's stronger, even though there are still those moments where it feels like if we had a bit more time to sort of explain some of the reasoning and really show the change in the character or why they're deciding to make these choices, it would be a stronger episode. Because I think choosing to betray Arishem is really like a big deal. I like that they kind of just turned it into a joke to kind of just throw it away, because they knew, like, if we try to explain this, it's gonna take a while if we don't just turn it into a joke. So I like how they made it just basically Kingo being offered a 3-movie deal from Stark would be enough for him to just do that. I think also the fact that people react to a giant lady in the sky like, how beautiful, as opposed to being like, terror, was an interesting choice. But the heart of it, what it's about, is ultimately the way we resolve this issue is by appealing to the part of Agatha that just wants to be loved and wants to be seen and celebrated as a performer and just as a person. And I like that it sort of explored this idea of that actors, they were made to feel small or not seen at some point in their life, and that's why they strive to want to be seen. And I think for many actors is true, to be honest with you. I definitely feel that in my life, I've felt a lot like I was kind of on the outskirts at times, and acting has been a way for me to take center stage and really feel seen. Whether or not you have a big role, it's just nice to feel seen. I mean, same with content creation, you know? So that was a little beautiful moment that we got at the end. And I also like how it was about sort of the beauty of movies and movie magic, and how anything can happen in the movies. And so that's the appeal that Kingo has to Agatha in the end. It's just this idea of, like, instead of being feared and ruling everyone with an iron fist as this witch now that has celestial power, you could just use that for good and be loved. And maybe, you know, the movies are enough, because in the movies, anything is possible. We can make anything happen. That's what we all love. That's why we all came to Hollywood. So let's just make movies together, Agatha. And it works, you know. Kingo's appeal works. I think it makes sense. I think it is a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little cheesy, but it's cheesy in an endearing way. And this is a lighter episode. It is a comedic episode. But I do love that they left it with a bit of a cliffhanger, and it made me excited, because I was like, I wonder if we will come back to this at any point in the season, or, you know, in the future maybe of the MCU. I know this is the last What If season, but if we come back to it, it would be kind of cool to see, you know, the Celestials come and then they have to take them on, and maybe see some of the other Eternals come back for a little cameo. I really think they built something really cool with the Eternals, and it sucks that just because it didn't do well, they didn't want to invest anymore. I think Eternals honestly should have been a show. I think it would have been better as a show. Gives you more time to introduce everyone. I think you use, you know, Kit Harington's character, Dane Whitman, who ends up becoming Black Knight in the comics. I think you use Dane more as the person to allow us to see into the world, and he's kind of us in the story, like, doesn't know what's going on and is kind of thrown into this world of this secret group of heroes who have been on Earth for a millennia and who have been disguising themselves as sort of heroes of myth. They are heroes of mythology, and I think it's, you know, him discovering all of this and sort of falling down the rabbit hole. I think that would have been a stronger choice for the story and the way they told it, and I wish that they had just given it some more time to sit with us and resonate. Because doing one movie, I don't think that it was just enough time. And similar to this episode, where I do feel like it could have benefited from some more time, I don't know, what was the runtime for season 1? So they were aiming for 35 to 40 minutes, and they ended up being 30. But here's the thing, even with like 5 minutes of extra runtime, you can do a lot of stuff. So some of it is that it's just not as strong choices, but some of it is, I think, just a lack of time. I do think they did better, though, with the time they had here and just utilizing it. It felt like a lot more happened, and it felt like characters actually got to grow a bit. And it felt different, you know? We're in a different time period with characters who have never really gotten to interact at all, and so that made it feel more fresh than what we got in episode 1. So overall, I would give this episode, I think, I'm gonna say a very solid 8 out of 10. I'm between 7 and 8, but I'm gonna bump it because I just love Agatha so much, and I love getting to see a little bit of Eternals, even though I know I might be the only person that really cares about the Eternals. There was probably not many of us, but yeah, I thought it was just a fun time, and there were a lot of moments that I laughed out loud. So if you just want a good, entertaining episode that has some really pretty sort of animation, I would say, as well, with our celestial Agatha. I really liked that whole design and the way that was shown. Then this is a fun episode for you to enjoy. And hopefully we'll get to see some more of the Eternals in the future. I would love to see that. And obviously more Agatha. We always love more Agatha. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll see you next time, friends. And until then, as always, stay nerdy. Bye! I don't know why I did it like that. Did it cut out? Did I go too high-pitched? Bye! Do it like that. Just